Maar Khan, and I absolutely loved myself a cinema satire film. I love cinema satire mainly because you can see the state of like the industry in those films, the way the actors act like the directors, the way the actors overact their own roles, the way the writers portray the characters. It's just, you can literally see what they feel over the top, and I absolutely love it because they make fun of like Slumdog Millionaire consistently in this film because it shows like, well, in order to win an Oscar, it has to be a trashy film, because in this film they're making a trashy film because the whole thing is a heist and he's pretending to be a director. It's absolutely ridiculous, absolutely trashy. But just like the Tropic Thunders and just like the third act in Jailer, which was the only good part of that film, it's a cinema satire. It shows you the perspective of how these people are portrayed. You have the guy who's wearing his wig, always trying to fix it, which is normally most lead actors when they get to a certain age, they always have a fake wig on to show that they have hair. Making fun of the Oscars because here this trashy film, which is made as a heist, wins an Oscar because in the end, well, most places know that the Oscars is ridiculous. It is absolutely meaningless, especially now. If you look at what qualifies as an Oscar, you can't have any historical pieces anymore. You can't have any creative pieces anymore. Everything has to be inclusive. Everything has to be, whatever. They have to have a certain dynamic of it makes no sense. It doesn't, that's not how you create art. You can't control art. And it was just hilarious how it's just like they wanted their Slumdog Millionaire. That actor wants his Slumdog Millionaire. He wants to win an Oscar. That's all he wants. And those people who have watched the Oscars for years know the Oscars is worthless. And I absolutely love that, seeing that in this film. It's like India knew at that point in time that the Oscars have no meaning. The Oscars have no real standing, at least until RRR was nominated. And then everyone changed their mind. But Oscars have no meaning. Oscars do not serve a point. Yeah, but I was annoyed starting this film out because I had no clue what to expect. I was just thinking I was going to see something that was over the top. I was going to see something that had no real story to it, because it starts off with a mother who's pregnant watching crime dramas, and her father or her husband is a constable or whatever, and tells her not to watch them because her baby's going to turn into a thief. And then they have this music video of the baby in her womb swimming with other women. It was, yes. Swimming with other women and planning heists, holding people up at gunpoint. It was ridiculous. I didn't enjoy it until the second he returned home, kidnapping his girlfriend from like a stage or whatever, because she wants to be an actress. And his mother believes that he's a famous director, and immediately, I knew what I was in for. Sure, that was like almost 20 minutes in, and then as soon as they did that, I was like, okay, this is nothing but I was gonna say Hollywood satire, even though it does include Hollywood, like cinema satire, where they're making fun of their own industry, where they're like the acting is over the top, the action scenes are ridiculous because they go a little overboard in whatever action there is. The comedy is just a little forced, making fun of other films like Master India, like all those. It's just, all that stuff is a little too much, but that's what you do in cinema satire. You have to go over the top. No one goes like Tropic Thunder is a well done, well paced, well acted movie. It does all that because it goes above and beyond. The actors go above and beyond. Tom Cruise basically plays producer. Most people didn't know that was Tom Cruise the first time they watched the film. That's the only film I like Jack Black in. I've always hated him as an actor. I liked him in that film. Same thing with Ben Stiller. And that's the thing. I was able to see it from like a cinephile's perspective, because I heard that a lot of people didn't like this film. But as a cinephile myself, I was able to watch it, even if I didn't understand all the jokes, because a lot of them reference like Indian cinema. I was able to capture a lot because I'm a cinephile. I like watching films. I like seeing the perspective, the way the actors believe directors are, because there's this scene where Akshay Kumar tells the one guy to close his eyes, and then he starts telling him a vision, and it's like, directors do that. They do want to encapsulate an emotion in someone, so they basically try to give them a visual to go. It's certain ways of conducting certain actors that don't know how to see what their role's supposed to be, and I'm pretty sure Akshay Kumar has been the victim of that, where a director goes up to him, grabs his head, and basically tells him right to his face what he's supposed to be picturing in his head. This is one of those films, if you've seen it before and you didn't enjoy it, go back and revisit it. Honestly. And if you don't like it again, being a cinephile, watching those kinds of things, obviously isn't for you. If you just enjoy an action set piece, it isn't for you. If you enjoy like the nitty gritties of what goes on behind the scenes, it's for you. It's something that you can look at and be like, so this is what the director is trying to say. This is what the actor is saying he's had to deal with. This is what the writers are saying about everything involved. And that's how I know I had a good time. I could watch it. It's like a what? Almost 20-year-old film. Not really, but yeah, almost 20-year-old film. And it's like, as a cinephile, as someone who's watched old, recent, middle-aged, I guess, films from all around, I could see it and be like, I know what it's going for. Even if there are things I didn't understand, I still enjoyed it. Even if there are things that I see in it that probably weren't intentional or aren't really even there, I enjoy it because I can see that, seeing it as a cinema satire. Thank you all for watching. I enjoyed watching this film, at least till I understood what was going on. Just like in Jailer, when they finally got to the freaking third act of the film, and it was the only good part of that piece of trash. I'm serious. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to you next time.
Doodles, you guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.